Cooper, how are you today?
Good, thanks.
Well, that's great. Today we're going to be learning about bees. So, can you tell me what comes from bees, or what's the purpose of bees?
I think that they make honey, like bees make honey.
That's right. Bees produce honey. How do you think bees make honey, and where do they get the honey from?
When they fly around their beehives, they find pretty flowers and suck the honey out of them, and then the beekeeper takes like all the honey and puts it into jars like the ones we have at home.
Yeah, you're on the right track. So let's learn together how honey is made. You might think that honey comes directly from flowers, but in fact, honey is the end result of a long process that bees go through to produce honey. There are lots of steps in between, so let's find out. Honeybees go to great effort, and it's lots of hard work to make honey. Honey is sugar, which is made up of fructose and glucose. All the bees in a colony work together to create the final product that we know as honey. So thousands of worker bees, which are mainly females called foragers, fly out to the hive and find flowers, just like the ones we have in the garden outside, which contain sugar water. The worker bees use their hollow straw-like tongue called the proboscis to suck up nectar from the flowers and store it in their tummies. They have a special tummy called their honey tummy. Then, when they're flying back to the hive, the worker bee's tummy is already digesting the nectar. The digestive enzymes in their tummy are breaking it down and turning it into different parts of sugar, or glucose and fructose. When the forager bee returns to the hive, the processor bee meets him. The worker bee then vomits into the processor bee's mouth. The nectar breaks down even more and starts to turn into a watery kind of honey that is again vomited into another processor bee's mouth. This goes on and on until the nectar becomes a simple sugar. The watery honey mix is now transferred into the honeycomb. Because it's watery and gooey, the bees have to flap their wings over the top of the honeycomb until the mix becomes thick and sticky substance we know as honey. Now, isn't that a really long process?
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought honey was made in flowers and the bees sucked it up.
It's easy to think that, isn't it? It seems like the bees just suck the honey right out of the flowers and it's made like that. But it's a hard and lengthy process, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now that we've discussed the long process of how honey is actually made, we're going to do an activity. So here we have some cutouts of the honey making process, and here we have a sheet for you. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put the honey making steps into the table here, and we'll see how you go. Well done. Perfect. Great job. Cooper, you've put them all in the correct spots. So can you explain to me what's actually going on this worksheet?
So the worker bee flies out of the beehive and goes to the flowers and sucks up the nectar, and then he flies back and vomits the nectar into the producer's mouth, and that goes over and over again with other bees. And then one of the bees vomits the nectar into the honeycomb, and then they flap their wings to make the honey thick, and then someone gets it from the beehive and we get honey.
Yeah, that's right. So honeybees go to great lengths to make us honey, so it's really important that we know how it's done. So can you tell me something that you found interesting today?
Yes. Honey doesn't come from flowers, it is made from flowers.
Yeah, that's right. And where does honey come from?
Honey is made when bees take nectar from flowers and other bees in the hive vomit it up and put it into honeycomb and flap their wings to make it thicker.
Yeah, well done, Cooper. That's spot on. So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
To recap, do bees get honey from flowers?
No, they don't. make honey from the flowers, like the
Yeah.
nectar from the flowers.
Yeah, they make it from the flowers. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about honeybees with me today, and I hope we can learn again soon.
Yep.
Awesome.